Alright guys, yeah, we're rolling. How about this? Coming at you from among the dead here in some cemetery out in the middle of nowhere. I just got off work for a 12-hour shift, and all I could think about all day was how I wanted to come out here, enjoy some quiet, alone time, and watch the sun go down. And as you can see, the sun is right over there. I got a little bit extra time before the sun goes down, so I thought, as a YouTube content creator, I would shoot a video out here about some CDs that are in my collection. So I hope we didn't get interrupted. I'm shooting a video in public. It's kind of funny. So yeah, we're in the ERs. God, it's so awesome out here. I'm really happy I'm doing this video and set up this shot out here, because I love being out here. Just a nice place to kind of enjoy some silence, which is like the opposite of what we're going to be doing, but whatever, man. So the first album we're going to be talking about, Arid Weathering, Tides of War, Digipack on Northern Silence. So I'm kind of surprised that not a lot more people caught on to what this is or how good this is. So if you're a fan at all of Caladan Brood, you probably know that the two-piece is one Jake Rogers from Visigoth, and he's a super talented songwriter. But the other guy is whoever this is. This is his project, Arid Weathering. Now there's two Arid Weatherings, and they both are active, and I think they both had albums come out in 2016, which is when this came out. Here he's going by the name Sven Smith. Yeah, layout by Jake Rogers too, so there's a hint. I'm not sure why these guys are so secretive about who's in Caladan Brood or whatnot, but either way, Tides of War is a really good record. I mean, arbitrary, but I would say the more talented of the duo in Caladan Brood might be Jake Rogers, mainly because the vocals that he lends to the project just make that such a godly masterpiece of an album. So this album is a lot more stripped down to earth, just black metal, drum machine kind of stuff. But I mean, the riffing is there, the songwriting is there, really good stuff. Tides of War by Arid Weathering. So next we're looking at Eructation. That's E-R-U-C-tation. So 5 years ago, and maybe this is you now, if you would have told me this is a Swedish death metal band and this is a long lost forgotten album from 92 or so, I would have been like, yawn, snooze. But that is exactly what this is, and that is very relevant to my interests now. And this album fucking rules. This is called The Fumes of Putrefaction, and a little boutique kind of reissue sort of label that I'm kind of a fan of put this out. They're called Memento Mori. Hoping this isn't too dark or whatnot. I kind of did some testing and whatnot. So this is an album. Let's see. Am I wrong here? I might be wrong for the first time ever on my whole channel. I thought this was like a full-length record with demos on the end of it, but it looks like, according to this, that tracks 1 through 3 are demo 92, tracks 4 through 8 are an unreleased EP, and 9 and 10 are demo 95. The couple times I listened to this, I fucking loved it. It's just that this year, the last really 2 years or so, I've just been fucking gobbling up the death metal left and right. So it's not really giving me a chance to give something several listens, but I felt like I didn't expect to listen to this as much as I wound up playing it when I got it. It's really good. You should be able to pick this up for on the cheap. I'm sure it's still in print. It's really good stuff. It's kind of like, what impressed me about it, God, wow, look at that, was it's old school, it's really dirty and nasty, but it's got these really interesting kind of like sci-fi themes going on, and not just lyrically, not just artistically, but the music really sort of fits that style really, really well. So next we've got a split between Esgaroth and Occultists. And I've had this in my collection for a really, really long time, and this is probably the least played album in my collection. And I listened to it today, and it will remain so. It is painfully mediocre. Occultists is a band from South America who play kind of a mid-paced to slower kind of black metal. I don't know. It's just not really very good. Esgaroth is a little bit better, and they have 5 tracks on here. Occultists have 2 in an intro. I just kind of feel like if you're going to do a split with a band, why only put up 2 songs and like a keyboard intro? Anyways, this is pretty old. Let's see here. I mean, packaging wise, I can't blame me for picking this up. It looks cold as shit, and I'm pretty sure this came out in maybe like 95, 96 or something, but this is evidence, one of those things that 92, 93 were really good, 94 kind of, yeah, and then like 95, 96 is when black metal really, really got out there, and kind of everybody knew about it, and people were making it, and it got kind of bad. There's a certain point where, you know, if you go back to like 91, 92, this stuff is pretty consistently great, but this is kind of an evidence of that dropping off point. So Esgaroth, also really, really mediocre. The weird thing about it is it's a band from Colombia and a band from Greece, but the label who put it out, Sempiternal Productions, I don't know if you can even see this, is from Chicago. So weird kind of amalgamation of stuff. Next, I'm happy to tell you about Esoteric with is it the Pernicious Enigma? I picked this up a couple of months ago, I want to say, because my buddy Chandler Brown, who is a talented young man who also has a YouTube channel, I'll put the link down below for you, did a video about his favorite releases of 1997, and then I did one, and then I thought it would catch on, but nobody else did it. I wanted it to catch on so that people would go back to Chandler's channel and check them out. Anyways, Esoteric are a funeral doom band. I don't know much about Esoteric because this is the only record that I am familiar with. So they're a funeral doom band, and this came out in 97. It's a double album, and it's just super heady, fucking atmospheric funeral doom. The artwork on this is hilariously cheesy, but I really should get acquainted, I think, with the rest of their material, because they're really well reviewed from what I can tell, and this is a really, really interesting record. I'm trying to think of a way to put it, like the vehicle for the weird sampling and kind of the esoteric voices and kind of eerie, haunting layering going on is not what you would expect to hear. You would expect to hear chunky, kind of rhythmic funeral doom, but it's a lot more sparse and a lot more there's a lot less to cling on to, I guess I would say, and so it really is just a head fuck of an album. So next we've got Estuary of Calamity. Sun's going down. Band fucking rules. Check this shit out. This is a self-released album. This was their only album before they changed their name just to Estuary. I love the name Estuary of Calamity. It's so cheesy but good. So this is the sentencing, and you may know that Ash Thomas from Faith Extractor, Shed the Skin, Estuary, a couple other projects. He's been active in Ohio for many, many years, Thorns of the Carrion. In fact, this is the first thing they did after Thorns of the Carrion broke up, but it's not very similar to Thorns of the Carrion at all. It's really hyper-speed, Swedish, just million guitar melodies crammed in there with really, really intricate drumming. Kind of Cradle of Filthish, kind of Swedish, but it's somehow kind of all American in the way that those influences are just so pulled together and crammed out. Next we've got Eternal Suffering with Drowning and Tragedy. This, I thought this was self-released, but I'm wrong. Extremities Productions put this out, but I think it's pretty rare, limited to maybe 500 copies. And I'm just getting my info from the back of this reissue of it. Thought I read up on this enough last night. Only 2,000 of these were pressed. So my buddy Wayne, who I talk about in a lot of my videos, this was the first band that he played in. He sang in this band. It's really, really hyper brutal, fucking stab you in the throat kind of death metal. Really indicative of the mid-90s. And I don't mean in like a Cannibal Corpse or Deicide kind of way, but really American, kind of really East Coast actually. And it's really, really good. The guitar tone on it is super, super good. So it was remastered and reissued on here, and it sounds, I think, even better. Everything's just fucking pushed even further into the delectable zone that it already was. So this is put out by Pathos Productions, reissuing also some EP tracks and stuff on here, demo shit. Good stuff. You can probably pick this up on the cheap. Recollections of Tragedy and Misery. Of course, Pathos just goes, I don't know, reissue it and put some boobs on it. Next band is Eternum. Summoning the Woven Spirit. I didn't like this as much as I wanted to. So, I don't like Drowning the Light. God, that sunset is gorgeous. You know what? Tell you what. I don't like Drowning the Light. Hold that thought. Just have a look at that sunset. Yeah. I don't know. As with a lot of my videos, we're losing sunlight here, so I better move on. This isn't very good, so I don't need to talk about it a whole lot. Blute and Ison Productions put that one out. This is the one you need to check out. Eternum are a band that I cannot fucking be evangelical enough about. This is the Devouring Dissent. This is all you need from Eternum, from what I can tell. Even I honestly have a hard time believing in my head that this is the same band that put out the other two records. Totally atmospheric, kind of like Agalloch sometimes. There's some other comparisons I could make to it. I don't know. It's just great fucking atmospheric black metal. It's super minimalistic. Got some acoustic kind of interludes and stuff going on. It's just gorgeous. It's so enveloping and just grim. Good stuff. Next, we've got Ethereal Shroud with They Became the Falling Ash. So another Northern Silence album. God, it's getting kind of chilly. It is only like 46 degrees out here, so kind of a warm day for today. I was hoping maybe we could get some snow behind me or whatnot, but we're getting dark. Oh, it's going down. They Became the Falling Ashes, a totally brilliant, atmospheric kind of black metal record merging funeral doom with black metal. It's like slow. It's got that slow kind of churning pace to it, but it's in a higher key, and the guitars are a lot more like higher tuned than a funeral death metal or doom metal kind of album. Really good stuff. Check that out. Next, we've got Eternal Solstice with Demonic Fertilizer. Man, this is fucking fun. I put this on and I was reminded of how fucking fun of an album this is. 97 again. This came out on Displeased Records, so you used to have the best fucking catalogs to go through. So imagine Cannibal Corpse, early Cannibal Corpse with Glenn Benton singing on. And I know that sounds like I'm just kind of fucking making that up to make some comparison to sell you on this album, but it really totally works. It really sounds so much like Glenn Benton. Even the kind of like stupid rhythmic barks that he does are kind of there, but not to an annoying point. I need to get more familiar with the rest of their material, because this is really, really fun. And he has a monster coming out of his crotch. Been there. Anyways, next, a Velvet Creation by Eucharist. An essential Swedish masterpiece of melodic black death metal. Tons of acoustic interludes. You should be familiar with this. I wish this was so much more well acclaimed and praised by some. We'll see you tomorrow. But it's not. I recently did kind of a more lengthy review of it when I got it in on vinyl in a past video. But you should all know Velvet Creation by Eucharist, and if you don't, revisit it, get yourself familiar with it. It is a cornerstone of Swedish melodic metal. You need to know this record. And I need to get Mirror Worlds. I really was never a fan of that record, but it's worth probably at least owning and giving a second chance too. So, I'm freezing. The sun has gone down. This worked. We'll see how it looks in the end, but thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.